Knowledge transfer. Is that a misnomer? I believe so, but I'm going to come back to that later and I'll use the phrase for now. You see, knowledge acquisition and transfer is absolutely critical to our happiness in life. It is what enables us to do everything we do, and for those of us who learn and would love to teach, it enables us to transfer everything to someone else, leave something behind, a legacy if you will. Good managers map processes and good thinkers tend to leave us books. It's important that as we embark on this journey of knowledge pipeline building and self-development, we are able to categorize knowledge into 3 distinct categories.
Quick interjection to just mention that yes, if you Google knowledge management right now, you'll find as many as 7 or even 9 different categories. Frankly, I think this is all just contrived nonsense. We're going to concentrate on the 3 that I feel add real value.
And this is another very foundational tool that so many people, and especially businesses, fail on miserably. To illustrate our different types of knowledge, let's imagine making a peanut butter sandwich. It starts with your recipe, as basic as it might be, 2 slices of bread and a bit of peanut butter. This is explicit knowledge. This is something that you can very easily give to someone else and they can have the same knowledge that you have. If you ask 2 people with the same explicit knowledge the same question, you'll get the same answer. Now, the next phase is a bit more tricky, actually making the sandwich. If you have particularly dry peanut butter, you might have one of those instances where as you spread it across your bread tears in half, and then you've got a bit of a sad sandwich. This is procedural knowledge. With procedural knowledge, it's very much a case of learn by doing. And the interesting thing is if you ask 2 people with the same knowledge but different experience levels, you'll get loosely the same answer, but possibly little bits of context and additional thoughts from someone with more experience. Now, the third type is tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is very contextual. It relates to not only the knowledge that you have, but the background that you have and how you apply all of your learnings through life into what you're actually doing and how you're building your knowledge. Tacit knowledge is one of those things that if you ask 2 people the same question, you will get widely different answers, even if they are both potentially correct. In the case of our peanut butter sandwich, this could be the selection of brand that you use. Perhaps you have one that you prefer taste-wise or one that applies more easily to your sandwich. Or you could know that you're low on potassium and you add a banana. Or you know that you could like black pepper on your peanut butter because it's amazing. So add some of that. That's all easy enough to understand, but if we start looking a little bit deeper, it becomes a more interesting conversation. For your personal growth journey, it's vital to be able to categorize like this because you might have a different approach that you use to gather knowledge of each type. And especially in your career, this is something that becomes more important as you climb, because as you approach the top of the ladder, the amount of people you could ask for advice and guidance becomes smaller and smaller. And when you get to the top, you need to actively work on gathering the knowledge that you need to lead the business. This concept is also deeply valuable when interviewing people for senior positions. If I'm looking for a head of department, I'll be interviewing on procedural knowledge. If I'm looking for someone on C-level, I'll likely be interviewing for tacit knowledge. Now let's up the stakes and get a bit more contentious. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I believe the phrase knowledge transfer is a bit of a misnomer. If I map a process, does it become explicit knowledge? If I write a book about the way that I see the world, does that transfer the knowledge into explicit knowledge? Well, I say no, it isn't transferred, but I'm instead creating new explicit knowledge based on my procedural and my tacit knowledge. And this is a vital thing for businesses to do because this means you can get more junior people up to speed and functioning at a higher level much faster. That's why knowledge management is something businesses absolutely should invest in, but few do. Instead, they sit back and wonder why all their juniors are failing and why all of their line managers can't maintain healthy billability ratios because they're flooded with requests from juniors to be supported. Or on C-level, you could find yourself hiring someone who just never quite fits into the machine. There you have it. Now you know how to categorize knowledge. Next up, we're going to look at where to find each category of knowledge.